Welcome back to MK.Coding. This is Mihalis speaking, and today I want to continue where I left off the last time I recorded a video. I understand that Nate recorded the last variables video, but the one before that was our introduction to lists. And I want to continue that by introducing you guys to appending items to a list, or just appending, inserting, and removing items from lists. So let's get started. So to start, I just created a list, just fruit list, apples, pears, oranges, and cherries. And if you guys remember from last time, lists act just like variables do. They will act like a box and hold whatever is declared to the right of them. So we have 4 items. The starting index is 0, and our highest index is 3. That being cherries, and the lowest 0 being apples. And lists, of course, always have to have the brackets at the end and beginning, or at the end and beginning, yes. So we have our 4 items. Now let's start by appending. So what does append mean? Append simply means you are adding something to the list. So not usually, all the time, when you're appending an item to a list, you're adding it to the end of the list. So let's add a space here. And you guys do not have to space the code as much as I am doing. I'm doing this for the sake of educational purposes, so you guys can see everything without being confused by any minor issues. So back to the code. All we need to do is to write down the name of the list we want to use. So fruit list dot and then append. So from here, we insert what we want to add. So let's say we want to add pineapples. So pineapples as a string, correct? And then we print the list. There we go. We have a 5th item to our list. So now you might be wondering, before we analyze the list, what does dot append in this case mean? So append, and then if you have the parentheses, let's just remove this item. So dot append parentheses, that is called a method, or just this portion is called a method. Now, methods are ways for Python or any other code language, we'll focus on Python for today, to declare a certain action. For example, if we're using the method append and we add the dot at the beginning, we are allowing the append method to act on whatever this variable is. In this case, it's a list. So I will insert pineapples back into the list. And there we go. And now to analyze the list itself, we start off with the same index at apples. So 0, 1, 2, 3, but now we have a 4th index. So our highest index now is 4. Now, what if we want to remove something from the list? It's a quick change. Instead of append, you add remove for the method, and you remove what you want to remove from the list. So let's say I want to remove pears. And after I run this code, you will see that pears is now gone. So this changes a lot of things. When you remove an item, everything is pushed down to the right of it. Everything to the right of what you just took out is pushed down to the left. Everything to the left of the item you just removed stays the same. So our indexes are now 0 for apples, just like it was before, but oranges is now 1 and cherries is 2. Now, here's the tricky thing. What if we want to insert an item into the list? Now, insert and append might seem very similar, and yes, they are fairly similar words in definition, but if we actually insert an item into a list, what does that do? So, in Python, inserting items into a list gives us a chance to add, again, another item that isn't present in our list, or it can be present again. We will just have 2 of the same items. It will allow us to add certain items to a list wherever you choose, instead of just at the end of the list. However, there are 2 parameters to to the insert feature, or two arguments in this case. So we have the first argument we have to declare is where do we want our item to be. So let's say I want to put my item in for index 1. So 1 goes in as it is, and then our next argument is what we want to have in this area. So let's say we want to use pineapples again. So we will insert 1 into the index 1, the word pineapples. So there we go. So similar to the remove feature, everything in the list, or some parts of the list, get pushed around. So apples again remains the same at index 0, but pineapples now holds index 1, and everything to the right of that index was moved down one spot. So pears is now index 2, oranges is index 3, and cherries is index 4, or 5 in this case, my bad. Or it's 4, yes. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, we're good. So, what can we grab from insert? So insert is a very valuable feature if you want to insert certain values into various parts of your list. But again, if you want a simpler method, for example, if you are programming an app that's just supposed to store names of, let's say, students at your school, then append might be your best choice because that is just adding to the end of the list. Now, you can use the insert feature similar to just like the append feature. So we have start apples, pears, oranges, and cherries. That is the highest index being 3. If we add it to 4, which isn't present originally, pineapples will go straight to the ending of that. And you can make this number literally, or from what I understand, whatever you want. So as long as it's over 3, this item, or pineapples, go straight to the end of the list. So with that being said, I will review parameters and arguments a little more in depth. Just not in depth, I'll just briefly go over them now. So parameters are just a vague name for items, or items that you have to remain as part of a function, or as we see here in this insert feature, as part of a method. So a parameter would just be, let's say, you need an index number for the first argument, and you need the name of whatever you want to insert in the second argument, or the second parameter, that is. My bad. So we will just use one again over here. Yeah, so and arguments are more specific descriptions in that case. So your argument in this case, or our argument in this case, is 1, so that is our number, and then our second argument is pineapples. So again, parameters are just vague descriptions of what we need in a certain function or any other method, and a few other aspects of Python as well. And you will see these pop up in various languages, including JavaScript. I do think that parameters are easier to use in JavaScript. I feel like that language asserts or utilizes parameters a little easier than Python does. But again, if you master the coding language of Python, you will, or just gain that understanding of it, you will succeed with parameters. So I will explain parameters and arguments in future videos. Nathan will do that as well. But I think that will conclude our video for today. I hope you enjoyed this additional piece to the introduction to lists that we started a few weeks ago. And before I head off, please subscribe if you haven't already, like this video, and comment down below what you would like to see from us in the future. It means a lot to me, Nathan, and the rest of this company, or nonprofit organization. So whatever you guys can do to help us, we would take that kindly. So thank you guys so much, and I hope you guys have a good day. Thank you.